In a small yet lively Sunday school, laughter and excitement fill the air. Children from all walks of life gather here each week, eager to hear the stories that have shaped faith for generations. At the front of the room sits a kind-hearted priest, known to all as Father Domingo de Molino. With a warm smile and a well-worn Bible in hand, he is ready to share another tale of courage and faith, one that will inspire these young minds to stand strong, just as a young boy once did in the face of great danger.
Good morning, children. Today, we are going to learn about someone who trusted God no matter what. His name was Daniel, and his story teaches us how faith can protect us, even in the scariest times. Let's begin with a little background about him. Long ago, Daniel was a young man, just like some of you here. He lived in the city of Jerusalem. But when Jerusalem was conquered by King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon, Daniel and many others were taken far away from their home. Can you imagine how scary that must have been? But Daniel didn't lose hope. Even in a foreign land, he chose to stay faithful to God. The king wanted Daniel and his friends to forget their God, but they refused. They wouldn't even eat the food offered by the king because they wanted to honor God with everything they did, and because Daniel stayed faithful, God blessed him with wisdom and strength. King Nebuchadnezzar noticed that Daniel and his friends were 10 times wiser than anyone else in the kingdom. Imagine that. God had big plans for Daniel. One night, King Nebuchadnezzar had a strange dream that none of his advisors could explain. He was so angry that he ordered all the wise men to be executed. But Daniel trusted God to give him the answer. He prayed with his friends, and guess what? God revealed the dream to him. The king's dream was about a giant statue made of gold, silver, bronze, iron, and clay. It showed the future kingdoms of the world, and Daniel explained every detail. The king was so amazed that he praised Daniel's God. As Daniel grew older, a new king, Darius, admired him for his honesty and wisdom. But not everyone liked Daniel. Some officials were jealous and tricked the king into making a law that no one could pray to anyone but the king himself. Do you think Daniel stopped praying? Of course not. Daniel kept praying to God, just as he always had. The officials caught him and threw him into a den full of hungry lions. Can you imagine how scary that was? But Daniel wasn't afraid. He trusted God completely. And that night, God sent an angel to shut the lions' mouths. When King Darius came the next morning, he found Daniel safe and sound. King Darius was so amazed that he declared Daniel's God to be the living God who endures forever. Daniel's story shows us that when we put our trust in God, He will never leave us, no matter how hard things get. So, my dear children, what can we learn from Daniel's story? We learn that faith and courage can help us face even the biggest challenges. And just like Daniel, we should always trust God and pray to Him, no matter what. Now, let's pray together and thank God for His love and protection. Thank you for joining me in learning about Daniel today. Remember, God is always with us, just as He was with Daniel. Come back next Sunday to hear another incredible story from the Bible. See you then, and God bless.